So she's a host on Redacted. I don't even want to talk about this, okay? I don't even want to talk about this. She's got 3 million followers, okay? So, uh, not trying to, you know, stir up a bee's nest. Uh, so, understand that. Understand that going in. I'm not, uh, here we are. I'm watching these shows. I'm watching these interviews. And this is worth a watch. This is worth a watch. And we spent some time on it on the last stream. And there's a lot there. A lot there. So uh whenever you have a couple days, go check it out. I I will be finding a way to shorten these up. I don't want to be putting 8 hours out there for you, and uh, no, it's for me, uh, and I appreciate it. But this was awesome. This was awesome. I'm really glad we got to watch a bit of this. Now, here we are with Jimmy Kennedy and Andy Dick. Okay, so this is our part two. Here, let me yeah, because we got American Redacted, some retroactive, all the dacted, acteds, and dies. Okay, there's a new die out there now. I don't know if I even want to be even watching this. Okay, I wasn't even trying to watch this to begin with. But it's there. Um, but here we are with part two of Jimmy Kennedy and Andy Dick. And he was coming out of a near-death experience. He said that he died. And he went through some rehab and wanted to stay for a while. Yeah, I mean, try to get himself cleaned up, but now he's looking around the studio trying to see if there's anything he could snatch before the end of the podcast to maybe sell on the streets, because he's got extra baggy clothes for a reason, and it's one of two. And welcome, Dice Gay, welcome back. He's either wearing baggy because he's gonna pocket some stuff, or those are in fact Jamie Kennedy's clothes, and he wouldn't even think about letting Andy Dick sit on those couches. Because there's no way I'm ever going to Jimmy Kennedy Studios after that one. I would say that would be contamination, right? He's like, I mean, I don't. He just seemed like the person who was always out in the streets. But maybe it was just that one time where he just about was, he just about died, and they were filming his documentary, his 6-year documentary. And he was looking around like, they're usually here, but no, I guess they're not here. What? You don't even know? Man. That's the way I want to. You never want to know that you're being filmed, So if he's got kind of like this production company, like Michael Douglas in The Game, where it's all twisted, you don't know what's real and not, and they're just going to film it, Maybe he's about to level up in the Illuminati. Because I need to know. That's why you have to say cut. But they're making it part of their life. Don't even know when they're being filmed. No, I'm for the idea of filming, I suppose. Jimmy Kennedy. So he is the one who's going to clean up the streets of Hollywood. Okay, he's bringing in these people who have been talking about how difficult it's been to get auditions and stuff. And he's realizing that he has the keys. He's got the logos. He's a logos man. And he's going to speak that logos into Andy Dick. And his cannabis synapses are going to start firing again. Because he said that they no longer do. And we almost, for a moment there, saw the lights turned on for a minute. And there's a little bit of life in his face. But he's looking great. I would say this is probably the best I've ever seen him. And he's super chill. So maybe Jamie can get some pointers from him, because he was all over the place on that Nasia interview. I can't believe it. He was like talking to her like he was training a dog. It's a dog. Come on. But yeah. But these are all fun and stuff, but oh God, look at this. Please. I was just there for Kurt Metzger, okay? So, because that is the China Revolution. And we've got the big scoop on that one. No, that was a lot of fun. Okay, so we'll take a look into this second half here, and I was thinking about seeing what these guys are doing again, because they're coming out around the same time, and and while I'm not too interested in this stuff, um, we could even do Bill Maher, because I would like to watch more of like this interview style, but maybe after this, maybe I'm not gonna want to, and I'll just want to get comfy with Redacted. Well, I mean, not that Redacted, but the American Redact and Retroactive. It's a lot of R's, a lot of reds. It's communism. But I've never seen it before in my life. Okay, never seen that show before, and I but keep those Chinese stars away from me. They're flinging them stars. They're just shattering the image of America. They they put the stripes behind them. The stripes are behind us. So it's in the back of the overlay. They're up and blocking the stripes. So the stripes are behind us, and get these stars out of my way. And that's her overlay. It's the stars kind of flying around like this, uh, like Banner, Burmass, or the Banner Man. So she's got these big banners like this that go across the screen, like Chinese stars. Is that what they're called? The throwing stars. They're just like trying to shatter the image of America, the stars and stripes. You get behind the straps. And Jamie is forging that way for us, and in Hollywood, cleaning up the streets of LA. And he might revitalize Hollywood, because there's this old era of Hollywood, this generation that is developing, that infrastructure that was there that got him there is no longer there. So that's going to be really interesting to witness. So you're not looking at Brando, living large on some kind of talk show, because that's gone. Didn't you see Joker? Okay, that was the imagery to make you get used to it. Okay, he was saying, no more. Done with this. Now, I've never seen it. And that was a very painful decision I had to make, because everyone was starting to act like it before it even came out. Couldn't believe it. And if Kurt Metzger is talking about magic and stuff, oh man. I think Jimmy Kimmel exposed some of it. So that whole, even all that, that's done and over with. Those shows have no relevance anymore. They're all doing this. Not this, but a version of this. I'm doing a version of what they're doing. But really, the people that have started in this to begin with, watch out. No, but here we are. Looking at a generation here that won't have the tabloids to even make fun of them. Okay? So we found our purpose, folks. Okay? We need a purpose. And we need to make sure that they have a way of being seen, through parody and a hangout sesh kind of feel. And they won't be upset that there isn't a convenience store just down the corner like there used to be, where it had little tabloids in the newspaper stands. Okay, all that's gone. And this kind of generation of workers, they were counting on that to keep their stardom relevant, or just kind of always in the forefront. So we got this now. And now anything that people do outside of this is going to be, viewed way better than Siskel and Ebert. Okay, we get to look at everything. We get to pause, and so this is fun. This is play, and then they get to kind of. We've seen it with the other comics, with these kind of channels, and Too Lazy to Try, where Mark Norman and Joe List is talking about, yeah, it's fun. We watch them. It's cool. And Gomez, they like it. So we got to make sure it can be preserved too. And allow for a way to learn. Yeah, I need to make sure I can talk before I get me another 1K view. We hit a 1K view, folks. Do you understand? You understand that the last we had a 1K view. I couldn't believe it. That was on a 8-hour stream. It was the one a couple nights ago. So we appreciate that, and that's all Kurt Metzger, okay? And that's why I gotta, while I really do enjoy Kurt Metzger stuff, I want to make sure that you give him a bit of room before doing some coverage, so that none of the traffic is going in my direction where it should go into his direction. So I do uh, allow for some breathing room, and it's important for that that traffic to kind of go in that direction. Um, so if that was the case with that, yeah, my apologies, because couldn't believe it. 1K. I mean, that's I just outdid Jeff Dye. Oh man, no wonder he's going after us little guys, because we're passing them. And again, you know how easy it is to get that many views on a 30. Oh man, I wish I could do. No, I don't. I really don't wish I could do 30. But uh, I really do enjoy the long form, and at some point, we'll do something with them. But I'm sure I'm sure. No, I got another. Well, I got a plan. Got a plan. So we're gonna keep the marathon going as long as we can here, and then pivot if we need to. But I'm trying to find jeopardize other numbers here, but anyway, we're not comparing. Okay, these guys think, and I'm not even trying to say, ooh, look, we got more numbers than Jeff Dye. Okay, but that was solely because of Kurt Metzger, and I appreciate the people who followed and watched along with our commentary on this, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Oh, my apologies. It wasn't this one. It was I believe it was from this one. I think this one hit 1K. So this is a little pre-show. Thanks for allowing me to get warmed up here. But I saw the numbers today. I was like, oh, woo! I couldn't believe it. So thank you guys. And I know I got a lot to work on. And please let me know in the comments the things that grade at you. Okay, because there's a list of them, and if I can get to if I can play triage and get to the top ones, yeah, I will. But but be aware that I know the things I need to work on. I gotta work on the pace, and we'll get there. We'll get there. But we got old Jimmy Kennedy. Andy Dick is back from the dead. I mean, he told us that, and there was footage of it. Okay, so it's not just that he's telling tales. Okay, this is wild, and this is why I didn't really like this one, because there wasn't much authenticity behind it. It was very forced, and she doesn't like the fact that she has to do it. Sorry. That's just what That's why. But it must be a lot of responsibility that she's doing or whatever. But that looks like. I'm glad Kurt Metzger was on there. Let's just say, but I get maybe it's because it was oil and water or something. Because it just seemed like she did not like him, and she was just kind of like, oh, okay, and kind of going along, but very put off by his language, I guess. And so there was one point he's like, oh, at the beginning he's like, he was talking and he goes, oh, can I swear on this program? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure. And it seems like it's a program for women, basically. Like, oh, God help you if you're a man listening to that. No, I'll watch me some Candace coverage at any time of the day. Okay, but he started talking, and I think it was just a little too much for her, and so she just had this very put off and really grossed out face the whole time, and but then she said some things, and she said that it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. I can't get back into it. Sometimes I wish we could rewatch these things and see if there's anything else. But not like the the fun ones though. But it might be too much. But that was a good one. So that was a great time, and thank you for your patience and hanging out. Because we ain't ever gonna get to this clip. No, we will play the clip. This is Jimmy Kennedy and Andy Dick, where he says that he's back from the dead. Okay, he had a bad situation happen, and this is part 2.
Hitman.
If the tits are nice.
Here, I have to figure out how to keep this as just the general setting. I don't know why it keeps going back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, here we are. Now, we can take it back a little bit, but as you can see, he was talking about fame, drugs, and losing control. And we had seen that it was something quite similar in a lot of other people, including Jeff Dye. Seems that people are staying away from alcohol. And Andy Dick here was saying that usually the times that he made the worst decisions in his life was when he was drunk. The last incident being one of them, which is where he was clinically dead. And was brought back to life. And then refused to go to the hospital. And somehow it was filmed by his documenteurs that have been filming his life for the past 6 years. And according to him, he's got some good stuff.
She was fine.
My apologies. I had to get my headphones here.
Fine with it. I was.
So
I
you were
was
out
very,
there having
very,
a relationship
everything on the table. Like, I really want to still be with my guys because I love them so much, and I'm not going to be able to be with you and like lie and be running around lying or like that. I just wanted to be open and honest. And I said, and I totally understand if you just can't be with me anymore.
But why not just be gay?
Because I'm just not.
You're not. So you like women too.
If there's the right woman, yeah.
You strike me as a tit man.
If the tits are nice, I mean, the thing about women is they're Yahoo.
Yeah.
They're Yoo-hoo. What are you?
See
what do
how
you
we
want?
do this? I want a new. I want people to realize it. See how we talk in code, which we like to do. I like
Yeah.
this. So
Okay, so they kind of go on about this stuff, and I wonder if we had seen this already. Oh man, we're gonna jump right into him talking about his sexual identity. Oh god, no wonder we stopped where we did. I might need to change the title of this live stream. Good God, I don't want to be hearing any of that. And his desires. You think for one second I want to hear about his sexual identity and desire? Oh man, thank you for titling these. Man, I mean, I'm okay skipping it, even though I like to, maintain a little bit of the continuity. But Jamie's making hard edits in this show all the time, so here we are. I'm sure you guys understand. I'm not here for. I'm here for old Jimmy Kennedy. This is a man with a plan. Okay. He is taking in the people who want to be institutionalized. They want to stay in the box. And you ain't never gonna put me in the box. And he is going to get these Hollywood leftovers and make a meal. He's imagining eating it right now, just pouring down his face. The Feast. He is the next Marlon Brando. Doing a little air guitar. No, we gotta take it easy with Jamie Kennedy. Remember, he's tired. Okay, he's really tired. More tired than usual because he could very well be having a house guest, and the house guest was a bit more than he bargained for because that house guest came with a dog, and so he's got a house guest and a dog. And he is left on the couch. And it shocked him when he had her on the podcast, when she told the story that she would sleep in people's beds as long as they don't touch her, just because she needed a place to stay. And he's like, hey, what? And you can tell it was like, but you told me I had to sleep on the couch. So he's been sleeping on the couch, having a dog jump around him. He actually looks like that the dog has been jumping and licking on him. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, can you get your dog, please? Thanks. Yeah, that interview with I don't know how to say her name. It's so exotic. Nasia with an N. See you later. Because she'll walk right out on you as long as you fit the bill. Now see you later. Oh man, that was a good. James got some good interviews, folks. Okay, you got to know how to watch them. And Jamie cannot know about our channel, okay, because he can't change the way that he does his stuff. Once they become self-conscious of it, then it's over. Yeah. So he better never mention the old clip virgin. And yeah, I think this is great. Okay. He's got a way to kind of conduct these podcasts, and it seems like it's his own studio. So it doesn't seem like it's a rental or one that a bunch of people use. And even Andy Dick was saying, oh, okay, yeah, so you just need like 3 cameras and do this. Oh, okay, yeah. So what everyone does at Rogan, they all look around trying to figure out, okay, so how is it that you get it to look like this? Okay, wait. The largest podcast in the world. Okay, so he has oh my God, where are the cameras? It's all these tiny little military cameras. They're always trying to look for where it's at. No, they're old iPhones. They're like the Andy Dick's iPhone 6s. He's got the place surrounded like stop motion from Matrix with iPhone 6s just to put you in a sacred geometry. Front face it. Make it look all weird. So Jamie Kennedy's a bit tired from his house guest, and I don't really want to hear about Andy Dick's sexual identity, and even though that's everything he does, you know, it's all centered around that. But let's see if we can get beyond that.
God.
Kidney beans.
That is so good. We both had Dinos.
Yes,
that were our.
He was on the circuit.
godsend.
I know, and so
Was he Greek too? This guy?
He was Greek. That made me laugh so hard. That's a true comic moment of health.
Oh my
healing
God!
me.
He brought you back to life.
He
yeah.
healed me.
Yeah.
That little moment woke me up. I put
Look,
kidney beans.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Kidney beans.
Looks like we missed a good one.
It was brilliant. Oh
I'm
God,
gonna
Andy.
die.
Jesus, Narcan. So wait.
What if I make
God,
every interview I ever do, I make sure they have Narcan.
we should. By the way, that's not a bad idea.
Do you hear him? Yeah, he's like, actually, God, that's not a bad idea. You're not the first person to look like they've, you know, are knocking on death's door. What is with you guys? And Jamie Kennedy's realizing it. He's like, oh, thank God I listened to Eddie Bravo. Thank God I listened to Eddie Bravo. That's what Jamie Kennedy's thinking right now. Oh, man. Yeah, we do need some Narcans up in here because, well, you guys be looking like you ran out of adrenochrome. Woo.
The fact that Billy went and got it at CVS is crazy.
He's getting it now.
God,
I'm not doing anything.
Billy
right
saved
now.
your fucking life.
He really did.
I met him last night at Whole Foods and I bought him a tea.
What do you say? I'm not doing anything with my life?
He's getting it now.
God,
I'm not doing anything.
Billy
right
saved
now.
your fucking life.
Oh.
He really did.
I met him last night at Whole Foods and I bought him a tea. He's the sweetest guy. He's never gonna pay for tea around for me again.
Oh, that's sweet.
He's the Hollywood streamer. So
yeah,
wait,
he's really good.
this is why I love
Good
our hood. We live in our hood. One thing about you
You live
is
here too?
I live here.
Oh, okay.
You live in this hood. You know what? I love Gwyneth Paltrow, but she doesn't live in the hood.
No.
Did you just
We love
hear him?
Hollywood.
Yeah,
You
I
live in
love it.
Hollywood.
You live here?
I love it. I remember some girl you dated who was.
Okay. Remember that? Remember what we said the other day where, I guess it was yesterday, that he was looking around the place, seeing if he could squat there. And now he's like, oh, wait, you live here?
Hollywood.
Yeah,
You
I
live in
love it.
Hollywood.
I love it. I remember some girl you dated who was very, very beautiful.
Oh, thank
Don't
you.
you remember? I can't remember her name, but she.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. So Jimmy Kennedy lives in his studio, or his studio is in his house. He said, "Do you live here?"
Live here.
Oh, okay.
I love our hood. We live in our hood. One thing about you,
You live
is
here too?
Oh, live here too. Okay.
I live here.
Oh, okay.
You live in this hood. You know what? I love Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay, so this studio Okay.
But she doesn't live in the hood.
No.
We love Hollywood.
Yeah,
You
I
live in
love
Hollywood.
it. Love it. I remember some girl you dated who was very, very beautiful.
Oh, thank
Don't
you.
you remember? But I can't remember her name. But she was very beautiful, but she was fucking crazy. But she was nutty.
How do you remember? I mean, Andy, if you were to take a stick and throw it in Los Angeles, wouldn't you hit a lot of people?
But this one was particularly very
Very beautiful
unbelievably beautiful
and very crazy.
very crazy. And I remember thinking, how is he doing it? Because I would never be able to go out with her, but you did, because she was undeniably beautiful. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Who are you thinking of?
I can't remember her name. Don't say it, you'll get in trouble with her.
What is she?
Andy Dick's pretty good. He's just creating some content. And he's just trying to do a show. He even said, "Hey, I'll." It's like, if you like, I can and call Marilyn Manson. And he's like, "Hey, didn't you remember that girlfriend you had that was so hot? Oh, we." I was like, "How did you get her?" He's like, "What? Really? I don't remember which one. Tell me. You remember that one that was just like, wow. How did you get it? No, I don't remember which one. Oh, you probably shouldn't say it. You want to say anything, but man, that was." And so he's just creating a little content for him. He's like, "What?"
Fuck, she was undeniably beautiful. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Because she was because I would never be. And I remember thinking, how is he doing it? Because very crazy. And I remember thinking, how is he doing it? Because I would never be able to go out with her, but you did, because she was undeniably beautiful. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Who are you thinking of?
I can't remember her name. Don't say it, you'll get in trouble with her.
What did she do that? Listen.
She was just so perfectly done up and so.
But what did she do that was crazy?
I can't remember that part, but I just remember her being a fucking nutbag. Am I right or wrong?
That's a lot coming from you. I mean, it depends.
right?
I've dated a few people in my life, and there's been.
Yeah.
I remember one that I was like, yeah, you
Which
probably were. I remember going, God, I was jealous of his guy. I can't believe he landed that. But I'm like, thank God he did.
Wow. You did it.
Oh, yeah. Because my girls are pretty, very, very pretty.
Yeah, you've been with
all of them.
hotties.
But they're very much, way more put together than me. So I always had somebody holding me up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Better than me on most levels, including the looks. They were very beautiful. And
Yeah, you've scored a lot of fucking hotties.
God.
And
You had to keep them laughing, I guess.
it's true.
And crying when I was inside of them.
You cry?
No, I kept them crying when I was inside of them. I was making a joke about my dick being big, whatever.
Oh.
Went over your head, I guess.
Well, because I'm thinking about the candle.
Well, that's now. It's
like
a candle now. But back then, ooh, you got to stay away from that thing.
Yeah.
You gotta stay away from that thing. What are you doing taking my cadence?
But back then, ooh, you got to stay away from that thing.
Yeah. And you in the balls too. You seem like
They were tight. Now, I remember hearing Nick Nolte in an interview going,
Oh, God,
when
I
he was
don't
getting
hear this.
older, and he's like, yeah, every time I sit down now, I'm like, I'm sitting on my balls. And that's happening to me now. Like,
Dude.
I have to adjust, readjust, and pull them up. And
I do like a softer seat.
sit down.
Is that the issue? What I'm hitting?
Yeah, you have to like kind of pull them back out from under you.
I'm gonna ask you something dark now,
Oh, go ahead.
and it's up to you.
Love it. Can't wait. I'm gonna answer it. Can't wait. Come on, spit it out, boy. You forgot.
No, I know. I just want to be gentle with this.
You don't have to be gentle with me. Come on.
What happened with Phil Hartman's wife?
So this is gonna be interesting. And he did just say something that Jamie Kennedy did not like. Okay, especially with these Epstein files coming out. Because Jamie Kennedy has already mentioned the kind of people he has around, or the kind of people that Andy Dick had around him. But let's see.
Can't wait. Come on, spit it out, boy. You forgot.
No, I know. I just want to be gentle with this.
You don't have to be gentle with me. Come on.
What happened with Phil Hartman's wife?
Oh man, and we talked about this earlier too. Okay, so this is we're gonna get his perspective, but I mean, it'd be interesting to, because Rogan tells the story of this too, I believe.
You did go there. I wasn't there, first of all. You know that, right?
I don't know that.
Yeah. People think the story
At
is
the
so
time-
convoluted.
At the
I
time,
hadn't seen Phil or Bryn for months.
so I had Pam Thomas. Do you remember Pam Thomas?
Mhm.
She was my manager. She
Right.
lived off of Amalfi, and then you were blown.
Wait. So he asked, and he just said, I wasn't there. And then Jamie Kennedy asked, or said something to Pauly Shore about the Reiner murders. And Pauly Shore says, I don't know anything. And covers his mouth.
Convoluted.
At the
I
time,
hadn't seen Phil or Bryn. Story
at
is
the
so-
time, I don't know that.
Yeah. People think, first of all, oh, God. You did go there. I wasn't there, first of all. You know that, right?
I don't know that.
Yeah. People think the story
At
is
the
so
time-
convoluted.
At the
I
time,
hadn't seen Phil or Bryn for months.
so I had Pam
I
Thomas.
believe
Do you
him.
remember Pam Thomas?
Mhm.
She was my manager. She
Right.
lived off of Amalfi, and then you were blowing up, and I had met Phil and Bryn through her,
Right.
and then you.
I was on news radio with Phil Hartman.
Yes, you were.
remember? So like 5
And
years.
so,
And I would spend Christmas with them.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I spent Christmas. I thought you were reaching for my
Oh,
hand.
you okay?
Christmas, Thanksgiving. We spent a lot of time together. Me and the Hartman family. My family would go with their.
okay. So that's the second time that Jamie Kennedy has moved that microphone away from that sloppy face of his. Okay, because he's slushing and making all sorts of sloppy noise up against that microphone, and it's getting everywhere. And that's the second time he's had to adjust it. And just before this, it was getting really wet up there. So Jamie Kennedy's getting grossed out and moving the microphone. And in the Nasia interview, he kept telling her to sit back. He's like, sit back. And then said, look here. It's wild.
Your family.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a lot of time together.
Mm-hmm.
Every holiday.
Okay.
Yeah. He and I were the closest together, Phil and I, than anyone else on that cast. I was close with everybody. Maura Tierney, Dave Foley, Vicki Lewis, Stephen Root. But what was your question about Phil? So,
Well, there's rumors
yeah. What?
that you were with Bryn.
Oh,
Sexually?
No, doing drugs with her.
Oh no.
So what is the controversy?
That we would be at their house on vacations, and I was always drinking, smoking pot, and whatever. And I think Bryn and I, on one of those things, drank or did something together without me knowing she wasn't supposed to.
So she was. The rumor is that you broke. The story is that you broke her sobriety.
But I wouldn't have known that. I didn't even know she was sober or was supposed to be sober
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
How would I know that?
Well, you were friends with her.
Not that close, only on the holidays. And I was friends with Phil, and Phil and I smoked pot. We smoked pot on the set of news radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, this is just an, open thing. And, I was trying to hide my drug use from my family.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So the story is that you got her unsober.
interesting.
if that's a story, is my point. Do you understand? Like, I don't understand shoving alcohol down her mouth or whatever.
You had no idea that she was sober.
Nope. No, because it was such a dark secret back then. And with somebody no, Phil didn't want anyone to know he was smoking pot. That's why he came to my trailer and we smoked. I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was from a different generation that it was very taboo. Everything I was doing was taboo,
Mm-hmm.
but not with me. And Phil was smoking, and I didn't know what was going on. And I was a kid. I think I was 27. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
The story is that she went off the rails because she was on drugs again, and that you introduced her. But
But how could I have
What?
I know that's what people say.
Yeah.
How could I have introduced her? Hey,
Wow.
girl, come over here. I got a little something in my pocket.
Okay.
Here, take it. No,
Oh,
really, you have to hear me.
I'm listening.
Like, you got to put a lid on this because it's just not how it happened. So,
oh man. This is whew. I just started resonating like Kurt Metzger. Man, this is good. And so far, I believe him. I've seen a lot of faces. We'll continue here, but uh, I mean, he definitely believes what he's saying. You could see quite a difference in people when they say things that they don't believe. And I don't think it's because he's convinced himself about it, because he barely has any convincing lines. He's just living his life. He's just like, whatever. So he doesn't have to explain himself, and that's what those forehead lines, you're trying to convince people or convince yourself. Now he might have done it all, but he doesn't. He's like, what? He doesn't believe that. He's responsible for any of that, and that's someone else's choice. Yeah, that's a weird thing, and you can tell he's like, it's weird that people would think this. But I can see how people could, but
No. Introduced.
But you went off the rails.
Yeah, I was 27, I think.
The story is that she went off the rails because she was on drugs again, and that you introduced her. But
But how could I have I know that's what people say.
Yeah.
How could I have introduced her? Hey, girl, come over here. I got a little something in my pocket here. Take it. No. Really, you have to hear me.
I'm listening.
Like, you got to put a lid on this because it's just not how it happened. So all these people, in fact, half of the world and their family blame me. And it's not me. If somebody wants to drink or do drugs, they're going to do it, whether I'm around or not.
so I wonder if this narrative had kind of fostered a bit more of this addiction.
Do you get that?
Yeah, but
Like, what if you said, let's go get a drink to me right now? And I'm not drinking, you're not drinking. But
if I knew you were sober and I did that, that would be evil on my part.
yeah. Or
Okay, so he's saying if did it deliberately to mess with her. Oh, okay, well then that's maybe a different story. Like just to see if he could.
for my part, if I know you're sober, but
No, you're sober, and
yeah,
I asked
and
you to
are
get
too.
I asked you to get a drink. That's it's evil.
Yeah,
I'm breaking your sobriety.
yeah.
'Cause you're
didn't
vulnerable.
ask her, yeah, but that's not how it was with. I was smoking pot. We were drinking. Everybody's smoking pot and drinking. Do you understand?
Mm.
Like nobody said, "Don't do this or that."
So you're saying that she was smoking pot in front of
I
other
don't even
people?
remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was, and Phil was, but I'm sure she was.
Well, what happened with you and John Lovitz?
Oh, he was one of those people that blamed me. He said something like, "You killed Phil Hartman" or something like that.
Whoa.
And then he was like trying to hit me. Like,
At the Laugh Factory?
yeah.
What happened?
He just was trying to hit me, and I'm just like, the fuck is he doing?
So you were at the Laugh Factory doing a show?
I think I was going there to see my friend do a show. Maybe I was doing a show too.
And then
I think I was there to see him.
you went to see John Lovitz.
Maybe. I can't. I think he was performing because I don't really do anything there. So,
I've seen you there
yeah, performing. Okay.
back in the
Then
day.
maybe I was.
So you went, and then what did you guys? He got into a fight.
He did.
He threw up against the wall.
Yeah, he like grabbed me by the lapels and pushed me against the wall. and just said, "You killed Phil Hartman," or "I know you killed Phil Hartman." It was ridiculous.
Have you ever been to trial?
Trial?
Yeah, I know.
For what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's intense.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. I know. So why? Yeah.
I was not. I was in Canada doing a movie.
But when it affected you, I mean, you were obviously devastated.
Yeah, it affected me. I quit the show.
I'm so
News
sorry.
radio.
Like you
I
quit.
said I'm done. The reason I was doing the show was because of Dave Foley and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joe was just an up and comer. Everyone else I didn't know who they were. But I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do a show with those two. I love those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Phil died, I'm like, okay, well the show's dead. I said it to everyone. You know, we can't do this show. It's dead. Phil's not here. I'm not going to do it. They had to very much convince me. They had to do a lot of talking, and then they also pulled out a lot more money. And I'm like, okay. And then they brought John Lovitz in, and I'm like, okay, he seems like a funny guy. This is before anything weird had happened.
So you'd worked with John?
No, I had never worked with him before this.
So
I'm
Phil,
like, oh yeah, John Lovitz, the guy from Saturday Night Live. Okay, this might work.
So Phil's killed.
But I was very upset that somebody was coming in to replace Phil. So maybe that's what John was feeling, that he knew I wasn't happy. I didn't want to do the show after Phil died. Who would? The show really was him. He was such a magnanimous personality, and his character, did you ever see it? He's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm. So how long did the show last after Phil passed?
1 year.
And you and John worked together?
Torture. We tried to work together.
So you weren't getting along then?
Well, because he really blamed me for his death, and I can see why he did, but
Wow.
I was already tormented about him dying in general. It was horrible for me.
Mm-hmm.
They were like very good, close friends, gone from my life. It was like a lot like Farley, who was very close with me. And he died. And then people started putting them all together, but I wasn't even in Chicago when he died. I wasn't with Farley at all. I had not seen him for months.
He was around with Farley too? Ooh. So people are trying to clump all these deaths with him? Wow, I didn't know that.
Life. It was like a lot like Farley, who was very close with me. And he died. And then people started putting them all together, but I wasn't even in Chicago when he died. I wasn't with Farley at all. I had not seen him for months. Just because I was friends with them, then.
So this is exactly what he said with the other one. With Hartman. He's like, oh, I know, I wasn't there. I hadn't seen him for months.
And they died months later. It's my fault. Do you see how it's completely ludicrous? You do see that, right?
I mean,
You just always put them together too.
if you're
You
not,
melted them together.
no, I didn't. You brought them.
Like I was in the room giving them drugs.
Oh. My position on Andy Dick is quickly shifting. Hold on a second. Because now he's trying to frame his Jamie's belief, and he's like, wait, no, I'm not saying that. And he's like, oh, you do that too. He's like, no, I didn't know until you just said it.
It's my fault. Do you see how it's completely ludicrous? You do see that, right?
So he says that a lot. You do see that, right? Like, you try to turn it on them, and now he's looking, like he's trying to relate to something in the past, deep emotion.
I mean,
You just always put them together too.
if you're
You
not,
melted them together.
no, I didn't. You brought them.
Like I was in the room giving them drugs or shooting Chris Farley. I never shot up anything ever.
You've never shot drugs your whole life?
Never.
Your whole life?
Yeah, never. I don't like needles for anyways.
You've never put like a drug up your ass?
Never.
Really?
No. Nope.
No, you look good.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
What relationships? Because you had so many friends.
Oh,
Or
my
any-
God.
still have good
What a-
friends.
I know you do, but
What
do you
a
like
pivot.
if you run into people, everyone's still cool with you, right? Most
Yeah,
people?
but I always know there's just this dark shadow that I represent.
But if you saw Ben, he'd be cool with you, right?
I think he would be.
Yeah, and
But I don't see these people. I don't see them, and I don't put myself out there anymore, if you've noticed. Like I'm doing your show,
I appreciate it.
but I don't really do much.
Well, you should stay sober.
So that's another guy, just like Pauly Shore saying, it's kind of dry out here. I don't do much. I mean, I'm doing this, but he's not saying that because that's a choice of his. He's saying it's because there's not anything out there for him to do. And that's what I'm saying, is that Jamie Kennedy is providing a way for these people to kind of pop up into relevancy a bit.
And get clean
I am.
and start walking like you said.
I do. I don't need to start. I'm doing all these things.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then just keep on your path because maybe you'll start acting again.
I am acting.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, I'm already doing all these other things, and then you should do my documentary thing that they're
Okay.
do an interview with them.
Okay.
I'll have Adam call. What's his name? What's your guy's name? Peter? Chris?
Right there,
Yeah.
it's Jason. It's
Okay.
two totally different names.
Close enough.
That was Peter.
Oh, now he's gonna hate me. Close enough and not
Fuck it.
close.
He's like trying to get someone to have to correct them. No, it's fine. He's like, oh, he talked to me.
Oh,
At all, Peter, Chris.
shit.
Wait, before you go, everyone has an Annie Dick story.
Okay.
Do you know this?
I know.
Do you know 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, I know. 6 degrees till you get to my dick. I know. Whatever. But what do you mean? So what?
Well,
you have one?
everyone. I don't
Right.
actually.
You
I
should have
only-
had a call-in thing and get a couple, but they'd be making them.
My
up and
only
shit.
story with you is what was really funny. I was auditioning for Comedy Product. You remember the show? It was Janine Garofalo.
Yes, I was on it.
Yes, you were. And it was like one of my first or second TV gets, and it was a huge deal. And it was all what we call alternative comedy, which just to
Yes, I
me means
remember that.
longer setups.
Right.
But, alternative,
Oh, long
it was like
form.
comedy, which was like one way, and then alternative was like a new way.
Yeah, and it was Beth
is
Lapidus,
alternative.
and we would be doing that
Underground.
underground
That's what I
basement
just said.
thing.
On Cabaret.
On Cabaret,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And that was where Bob Odenkirk and I were doing things.
All of you
Janine,
guys.
yeah, all of us.
So Janine got her own show,
Right.
and everyone that was on it was like a total hipster.
Alternative.
Yeah, and I was one of the few people that got picked out. Wasn't because I wasn't really in that scene, and you
right.
came in.
So you were on the show.
I was on the show,
Oh,
but
okay,
I was
cool.
auditioning that night, and before I went up,
Uh-oh.
you were in the corner hiding, And I want to say you were talking to Janine. I don't know. Maybe Sarah Silverman. I don't know who was there. And I said, somebody said, Andy, why are you up here like hiding in the corner? But you weren't hiding, but you were just away from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget. And it was at the height of news radio and stuff. And you go, I can't even walk down the fucking street. Are you kidding me? Have you been outside? And it was like you were fucking Bruce Springsteen. You're like, I can't walk down the fucking street.
We're turning into Charles Nelson
I know,
Riley here.
a little bit. I'll never forget that. And then they're like, Jamie Kent. I like saw that before I went on stage. I got the show, so thank you. Like literally before I went on stage, that was like my fucking thing that you said. I'll never forget it. And it was like you were just becoming so famous that you could not walk down the street. I cried laughing. But it was hilarious.
But then you got the show.
I got the show, thank God.
You're welcome.
Pam Thomas pushed me. Thank you. Thank you, Janine.
Right.
Thank you.
Pam. How's she doing? I love her.
I haven't seen her forever. I love her. She used to drink a lot of wine out of a box, never a bottle. She loved that box wine.
Oh, God, those box wines.
I know. I'm gonna but I met you just for people listening. I met you because she would have parties and it was her.
Oh, yeah.
I met Paul Feig, who I always thought was your brother.
Oh, right.
And you and Mike Myers and Phil Hartman, they would all go to her house.
Right.
And she introduced me to
She had, and those are like Christmas parties.
Mm-hmm.
That was the highest end Christmas party.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Because of people like us, comedy people.
I would like
go
go
in.
in.
All of our gods.
Yes. All the gods were there, and I'd be in the corner just taking one piece of cheese.
Do you still go to her? Does she have them?
I don't know if she has them anymore.
We'll start having them.
I would like to. Wouldn't it be great?
We can do that. We're old. You're 55. I'm 60.
Yeah.
It's our turn to.
See, he's got them thinking again. So Jimmy Kennedy is reactivating the synapses in these burnouts in LA. And it's like, wait a second, we can do something. That'd be great. Until they walk out the door and realize what it takes to live out there. Couldn't imagine the sprawl. Okay, the Arcade Fire told you. You gotta go home. Okay? What you doing? Concrete jungle. Trying to get on dish.
Carry the torch and
Yes.
bring people up.
You know,
Yeah. Oh, got the old twist. Twist in the no.
across from Babushka's Deli.
From where?
Babushka's Deli.
Where's that?
That's the place that you would just started the show about.
What are you talking about?
Off of the.
Oh, the the chocolate, the fudge factor. What's it called? The fudge. What's it called? That
Natural fudge.
Natural fudge. That is the worst name, because the natural fudge is like just diarrhea, like shit comes
See,
out.
that's where your brain goes. It could just be fudge.
But the natural fudge.
Okay, well, that's all Andy. And again, that is why I don't pay much attention to him. But apparently, he was connected pretty deeply into the scene, and somehow people wound up dying. And he wants to tell people that, oh, what? I hadn't seen them for months. But you did just see them, though. So he has lived in that kind of shadow for quite some time. Admittedly. So that was the last half of Jamie Kennedy. Appreciate that, Jamie. And he also does solo shows where he just tucks to you right down the barrel, looking straight at the screen. No sense of depth or field. No angles. He just wants to look you right in the eyes. couldn't imagine looking at another man in the eyes. But he wants you to. And Andy Dick is back from the dead, folks. How dare you? He filmed it. He's got footage. Well, there you have it. That is Jamie Kennedy and Andy Dick. Now let's see, because we can go the redacted route. Because I might just need like this is a whole recovery episode for us. We might need to do a redacted recovery, because I think I need a little bit of time before I see a good interview, or see an interview, like this. Yeah, I might have to do some compilation content. And oh yeah, we still got this too. Ooh, can imagine watching them though. Eee. But here we are again. We got a day ago, retroactive, coming out with Joe Rogan and friends somehow get worse. So this is little Rogan Sphere cringe content. But then we got American Redacted going in a little deep on the guests that have been on the Epstein files. These large profile kind of topics, I allow that to be done by other people. A lot of people are doing that, and when this kind of stuff is this and politics and all that, when that is brought into the comedy and conspiracy sphere, we will address it, but it's not our focus. Just like Andy Dick's sexuality, identity. We'll just skip that one. But we'll take a look at, because I've been liking American Redacted stuff lately. I think he's climbing up the ranks, and with this one, it really shows. Past couple, I believe, were 30 to 50 range, maybe 50 range, 50K. I just got my first 1K. Woo! Thank you guys, and I appreciate it. They're humbling me today, though. They want to make sure that I don't get too big of a head, because I'm already making my screen a little bit bigger. I hit that 1K, so now my thumbnail got a little bit bigger. So they're humbling me tonight. It's just a solo session. And I appreciate it. Appreciate the hang. But that 1K, woo, no, I can't handle that many eyes. Okay, we gotta stay small and have some fun. We gotta experiment, and I shouldn't be even putting hashtags on these things. I'm just doing what AI tells me. But here we are. American Redacted. Let's see what his numbers were on the other one. Oh, okay. Wait, no, this is his own page. Sorry, folks. Let me. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the. Whoa, man! Look at that. 131K subs, but he's getting 400K, 470. I mean, these were. I would say those are pretty big headlines, but that's a huge ratio. Like, $800K, 400K, consistently, and you get 130K subs. What? Seems like with that many subs, you should be in the steady 50 to 200K range. You know, the dips and the peaks and the dips, the valleys. But this is all peaks. Now, are you buying views or something? Because why aren't you getting subs? I just got a couple subs the other day. Thank you guys. Okay, thank you for subscribing and liking. It helps the whole small channel out. It's the currency, okay? And how are you getting all these consistently 400, 400, 400, 400, 400, 480, 480, 490, 490, 800, 600, 700. There's like one that's 160K, the lowest. I would think the highest would be 250. Am I wrong in that? Hmm. I just figured that he's doing good. I was proud of him. Like, hey, oh yeah, you're getting the numbers, nice. People are starting to watch your stuff. I'm pretty sure I've been watching his stuff for a while. Interesting.
That if you're not careful, folks from deep, here's a deeper point, man. And I don't mean to do this every time I'm on, but you have such a crazy power that if you're not careful, folks from deep, dark wells of perspective are gonna infiltrate your shit because people are gonna like try to exploit you. That's the main thing, is like people recognizing what you are, who have political agendas, will infiltrate your shit and then start blowing out their radioactivity into the world, right? That's a fear.
Like radium, like Alright, so now that people have had a few days to digest the millions of emails and documents linked to Jeffrey Epstein, it's now starting to appear that Joe Rogan's had a lot of people on his show that are now confirmed to have been closely linked to the predator and criminal himself, which has definitely left a lot of people scratching their heads. I mean, it's one thing to have maybe one or two guys linked to Epstein on his show,
That is so-
but when you realize that Joe Rogan's
Okay, that whole thing, and then that pointing. Look at this. Okay, this is him signaling to someone else that this is the guy that now, yeah, it could be that he's signaling to be like, this is a guy to, you know, get, meet, or, get women or whatever, girls or whatever. Yeah, I don't know what you can even say on this platform. So a lot of crazy stuff's happening. And he's...
thing to have maybe one or two guys linked.
Look at that. Look at that. And they're like both looking at each other like they're gonna make out. But this right here, that's him probably signaling to the feds. This is the guy I'm telling you about. Say what? No, man, he was there.
Left a lot of people scratching their heads.
What?
I mean, it's one thing to have
Look at that.
maybe one or two guys linked.
Look at that. No, this is like, this is like mafia stuff, man. And you're like, no, you're a phony. I said, get out of here. I said, get your stuff up, get it, and get out of here. Gather these people around and get out of here. That's what he's saying. Say what?
Left a lot of people scratching their heads. I mean, it's one thing to have maybe one or two guys linked to Epstein on his show, but when you realize that Joe Rogan's...
And then he's like, I said now. He's a cowboy.
thing to have...
Oop. And he's looking up, over in this direction. Looking in this direction. Not at him, but kind of looking past back here. And he's like, get them all up and get out of here. And he's like, get out of here. Let me get this. And get out of here. And then he's like, I ain't going anywhere. And he's like, now. He's like, get. And he's trying to play it easy because he knows he's been filmed. I ain't never gonna play it easy. I forget I'm being filmed. Watch out. No, I I got a whole production here that says live. Here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5th, right in there. Say, get out of here now. Just wait until I see what I do. Yeah, you think you're gonna? I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Like that. Okay, that's some Baron Trump shit right there. So he was saying, get out of my party. This was like his party. It's like, round up these people, get them all out, and get out of here. I'm not going to tell you again. Now. Say what? No, just hear me out now, okay? Hear me out. I said, round up all these people and get the fuck out of here. I said, get out of here. I'm not fucking playing. Oh, yeah, you think you're gonna do it? I said, no. If not that, something similar. I will play it again. Say what? Okay, just hear me out. And I won't say anything through it. Okay? So it's like, get all of these people out of here right now before I call the cops. Or, now. Oh, yeah. You think you can do that? Try. Yeah. Anyway. The previous one I did was better than that, but that's what I see when I see that. Just that. Okay, I have it on mute. Now let's see if it's so. It could still play out like that, but he's like really used to it. He's just like, oh yeah, I can get and get it and get out of here. Yeah, oh yeah, let's see what it is.
Rogan's platformed more than 9 different people and counting at this point, who were named in the files sometimes thousands of different times. It all certainly raises more than a few questions. And it's not like anyone's accusing Joe Rogan of secretly going to Epstein's island or anything, but the very fact that he's had so many of these weirdos on his podcast just proves how accurate Duncan Trussell was in the opening clip there. Like all of these creepy billionaires flock to Joe's podcast because they feel a sense of safety and protection with Joe. Not only because he never challenges these guys on anything or even questions their links to Epstein, but also because he's so easily manipulated and will believe just about anything you say to him, especially if you have power over him. Peter Thiel, for example, who's a billionaire tech investor and co-founder of Palantir and PayPal, admitted to Joe Rogan that he met Jeffrey Epstein back in 2014, about 8 years after Epstein was initially arrested for all of the despicable and nasty stuff that he did to children.
Yeah. Okay, but I don't think it's really up to Rogan to have to press issues, and you can do whatever he wants, and whether he asked somebody enough questions or not, it's not up for us. It's not up for us to decide that. However, we get to observe it and then critique it, and so it's all, mob control, mob of the people. So Rogan doesn't really need to push very hard, because we can see when things are, a little bit off. And I've never been off.
I met Epstein a few times as well, and I think...
How'd you get introduced?
It was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014, but it was basically...
when you were introduced to him, how was he described to you?
He was described as one of the smartest tax people in the world.
Interesting.
And I probably was my moral weakness that I.
Well, how could you have known back then? He had never been arrested.
No, this was 2014. It was post arrest.
Oh, so his arrest was the first arrest, right?
Yeah,
which was like
2007, 08.
Okay.
Upon learning this, though, Rogan doesn't even think twice before making excuses for Thiel, saying that he knows a lot of people who were tricked by Epstein, instantly letting Thiel off the hook.
But I thought he always had good judgment.
Looking up.
When the shit went
Rogan
down
looking up.
and Epstein gets arrested for the second time, where you're like, oh, well, there you go.
I've thought about it. I thought a lot about it as a result. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jeez.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. Well, he tricked a lot of people. I know a lot of people that met that guy.
So that right there is the very reason why so many of these elites just love going on Joe's podcast. Because Joe's best friends with whoever's across the table with him that day. And he was probably so starstruck by Thiel and his connections that he never even thought to second guess the guy on his relationships with Jeffrey Epstein. Now that the files are out though, it seems pretty clear that Thiel was a lot closer to Epstein than he led Joe on to believe. I mean, there's a bunch of back and forth emails between them about having dinners together in various places, and there's even one where Thiel suggests meeting him on a quote-unquote island, which could very well be the island, if you know what I mean. There's, of course...
Ooh, man, Redacted deserves those numbers, okay? I guess. I mean, I'm enjoying Redacted stuff. Maybe even more than Too Lazy to Try.
Nothing immediately acknowledging the crimes or anything, but I would venture to say that doing business with a convicted sex criminal for personal enrichment generally means you're a bad guy, not to mention being in regular communication with them. But of course, Rogan doesn't bother looking even an inch further into any of that, which is why a lot of people criticize Joe as an interviewer. Like the guy can't shut up about Epstein and all the stuff surrounding him, but as soon as he has someone on the show that's literally sat down and had one-on-one conversations with the guy, Joe immediately brushes over it and then switches the topic.
I know a lot of people that met that guy. He got a lot of celebrities to come to his house for parties and things.
He's like, yep.
Guy. He got a lot of celebrities to come to his house for parties and things.
Well, I think it was, it's a. I think a lot of it was this strange commentary on, I don't know, there was some secret club, secret society you could be part of.
Right.
And
of course.
Again, it wasn't explicit, but that was the vague vibe of the whole thing.
People love those stupid things. They love like exclusive clubs that very few people. Look at the fucking Soho House. Like, look at that stupid thing. I mean, you just go to a place that you have to be a member to go to, and everybody wants to be a member. Oh my God, gotta get it. And then you get like the Malibu Soho House. It's different from the other ones. You have to have membership only there.
And you see, Peter Thiel is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to JRE guests that have been involved with Epstein. Of course, there are the big ones like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, but it actually goes way deeper than that. Like, believe it or not, Joe's literally platformed Epstein's personal chef, Adam Perry Lang, who worked for Epstein for 4 years straight back in the late 90s, flying with him on his private jet to cook for him at Epstein's various different properties, including the infamous Epstein Island. And this was all public information prior to that podcast, so it was pretty strange that Joe didn't bring that up once. There was even an article written about it. And of course, there could have been some kind of agreement that Joe signed to not mention.
Well, and that's the thing. He doesn't need to. Okay. The internet does that.
It with him during the podcast, but nonetheless, it's all very fishy.
What's happening, brother? How are you?
Good to be here.
Good to have you. I have enjoyed your restaurant many times. This is my favorite steak restaurant in all of Los Angeles.
Thank you.
It's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in here, because this is a really crazy time for restaurants. And I mean, that's basically that's the gist of it. This is a crazy time.
It's bananas. It's absolutely crazy.
And then there's Dr. Peter Attia, who was apparently Epstein's private doctor and shared thousands of emails with Jeffrey, which of course are extremely twisted. But I'll touch on that later more in the video. Just know that as of right now, there are about 9 or 10 people who went on Joe's show that are named in the files, which is just a mind-boggling number of people. As weird as that may be though, there's not really one single answer to it that people can agree on. You know, some people theorize that Joe's been bought out and paid for by the upper crust of society, or even the CIA, and others think that it's merely a coincidence. No matter what you choose to believe in though, the one thing that's true here is that Joe gives the softest, most patty cake style of interviews to a select group of people, and a lot of those people were named in the Epstein list. And Donald Trump's a great example of this. Like during that Donald Trump interview, which now has over 61 million views on YouTube alone, Joe Rogan never even brought up Epstein or the suspiciousness surrounding Epstein's death, which is a topic that Joe's talked about on hundreds of other episodes before this one. He basically just gave Trump the easiest interview of his life.
One of the beautiful things about you is that you freeball. Like you get out, you do these huge events, and you're just talking, and you're making. We've highlighted you on the show many times when you did this Biden impression where he's walking around, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's funny. It's stand up. It's funny stuff, but it's like you and you're making fun of Elon one time. You were doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, "You'd be in jail." Like that's great timing. And I think
it's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business. First,
look at it. He's like speaking. He's not talking like this. I mean,
it's like you and you're making fun of Elon one time. You were doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, "You'd be in jail." Like that's great time.
He's wearing his black button-down shirt. He's trying to make it look like he's doing commentary or, the ringside, because that's how he sees Trump most of the time.
And I think
it's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business. First of all, it's a very tough business.
It's the most dangerous business.
It's the most, well, for a job?
Yes.
So the softball interview basically greenlit all of the cronies to go on Joe's show, as Joe's spine basically disappears whenever someone in the Trump administration appears on the show. Like a couple of short months after that Trump podcast, Joe had Kash Patel on, where he let Kash basically lie to his face and his millions of listeners about everything having to do with the Epstein files and Epstein's suspicious death.
Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. You want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation between Elon and
Have a
Trump.
nice day. DJD. Someone should take his phone away.
They're going back and forth about different things. And
Yeah.
How does he know? Does he know that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Or does he have access to the Epstein files?
I don't know how he would, but I'm just staying out of the Trump-Elon thing. That's way outside my lane.
What the fuck are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
I just don't. I mean, what did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered?
No.
No suspicion at all of it?
There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and not have any video of it and not have any people.
Oh my God.
Come out and say, hey, yeah, I saw that guy. He shouldn't have been there, the guard or this guy. There's just no
Yeah, and there's a whole minute taken out of the footage. We all know.
access points into places like this in the detention center he was in, which I've been in.
And no, Kash Patel was not named in the files, but he's directly responsible for the delay of their release. And he literally lied under oath about their existence late last year, which is now making millions of people online call for his arrest.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
He always does that. He's like, and if there was, I would be doing it. He's talking to everyone like he talks to his Broadway singer girlfriend, the country singer.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
So Kash Patel is Trump's personal shoe shiner. And of course, he manipulated Joe into believing everything he said about the Epstein files and Epstein's death. And just to be clear, Patel isn't in the files, but this just shows you why a bunch of these fishy, mega-rich guys feel safe going on to Joe's podcast. One guest that did entertain Joe's theories around Jeffrey Epstein's death, though, was none other than Barry Weiss, who is a New York Times opinion writer turned independent commentator and is married to a woman who was just named in the Epstein files, Nellie Bowles, who actually went back and forth with Epstein and seemingly met up with him a bunch of times accompanied by Barry Weiss. And so when Joe brings up Epstein's death, she seems to entertain the conspiracy theory a little, but then quickly makes it seem not even that important. She even admits to knowing a bunch of people who hung out with Epstein when he was alive, saying that everyone knew about his crimes and didn't do anything about it, which of course just flies right over Joe's shiny bald head.
Can we just agree that he was murdered?
I
If you
think
had
that he was murdered.
if you had all your chips on the table,
Yes.
like Barry, you got to go all in. What are you gonna do?
There are too many coincidences
Yeah.
to make it plausible that Jeffrey Epstein.
No one knows.
No one knows
Well,
that.
No,
but what
we
people
don't know.
knew, no, meaning
Someone must
But
know.
what I was going to say is, like, you know, I've talked to enough people that knew him, met him, went to parties at his house, and said, like, everyone knew this about him. It was like a Harvey Weinstein thing,
Right.
you know, in the sense of the young women,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or in the sense that everyone knew about Bill Cosby that came into contact with
Yes.
him. Like, there were things that were just agreed to never speak about. You know,
Right.
it's like, it's just absolutely sick. I was when the story broke about him hanging himself, I was obsessed for like a few days, but then I had to move on to other
course,
things. Like,
that's
the
how-
world is a big place.
That's what they're
Jews are
hoping
getting beaten
for.
in the streets. Yeah, but it's also like there actually are things that are more important to me than the
Yes.
story of Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
And I hope that there's some investigative journalist digging into the truth of what happened there.
But to be fair to Joe here, he honestly seems like he didn't know Barry's connection to Epstein during this.
It's always so embarrassing when his thing is off. Yeah, it's like it's not centered. It's just hanging to the side. That's how he did with, I think it was it Trump or someone? It was just hanging off like, oh no, Peter Thiel. When he did the Peter Thiel interview, it was hanging off really, really far.
Podcast from 2020. But now that she's named in the files as her wife's quote-unquote babe by Epstein, and now that she just hired Dr. Peter Attia at CBS, who is deeply affiliated with Epstein, the whole thing just looks pretty bad for Joseph Rogan. And you already know he's terrified of addressing any of it. Speaking of Peter Attia, though, who's actually one of Joe's more frequent guests that seems to be more close to Joe than usual, he was also listed in the Epstein files, and it appears that he's way more screwed than even someone like Peter Thiel, as he's on record emailing Epstein that he, quote-unquote, can't tell anyone what Epstein does, along with saying that eating pussy is low carb, which is absolutely horrendous given the nature of Epstein's crimes. So Peter Attia probably lost his whole career due to the Epstein files, especially now that he's come out publicly and stated that he's ashamed of his affiliation with Epstein, straight up just admitting to being the guy's good pal. And being that he's actually sort of close to Joe Rogan, it just makes you wonder how Rogan will address it, if he will at all. I mean, Joe Rogan must be shitting his pants right now with how many friends of the podcast are being exposed before his very eyes. And remember, these are the files that Trump's Department of Justice were comfortable with making public. So there's certainly millions and millions of more incriminating things to be released. Like, this is much deeper than you think. Of course, a bunch of the Joe Rogan fanboys are rushing to his defense right now, though, saying that Joe Rogan's had more than 1,200 different guests on his platform and that people are just cherry-picking. And that Joe would have guys like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel on, regardless of whether they were affiliated with Epstein or not. Which might be true, given that they're some of the biggest names in the world, but the fact that Jeffrey Epstein himself is now on record trying to get in contact with Joe Rogan just shows you how safe Jeffrey and all his goons felt in Joe Rogan's presence. And this info was pulled from emails between Epstein and a man by the name of Lawrence Krauss, who after going on JRE in 2017, emailed Rogan about the opportunity to get in contact with Jeffrey, which apparently Rogan was timid about. Regardless though, they've got to feel like Rogan's on their side or something like that, right? Like they must feel a sense of security around the man, given that he never brings up anything involving Epstein's crimes around the associates that he interviews. For instance, during one of the many podcast episodes Joe Rogan shot with Elon Musk, Musk conveniently listed everyone he thought was going to be on it and left himself right off of it. Which, now knowing that he apparently desperately tried to get on Epstein's island and was found to be too dorky to make the list, just seems super pathetic.
It's so obvious.
Yes. Like known Epstein clients who are obviously extremely powerful, they're powerful politically and very wealthy, are, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Reid Hoffman. And some others too, but those three. So, why was Reid Hoffman so intent on destroying Trump?
Yeah, how do you put someone in jail and you don't even name the clients? That sounds kind of insane.
I think, yes, it would. Yes, because
just stunning that they've been able to hold it back for so long. It's really kind of amazing.
Yes.
Like when people say that people can't keep secrets, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of these things are not like it's common knowledge, but we don't actually have the proof.
Right.
So the proof is there. I mean, there's lots of videos.
So yeah, I really wonder if Joe will ever talk about Elon being in the files. Based off how Elon's tweeting like a maniac about it and defending himself way too much on his own app though, he'll probably go on to JRE soon here to clear the air, which will definitely make for another video for this channel since it will indeed be super awkward. Aside from that, though, when you step back and look at the whole picture here and consider the sheer number of people involved with Epstein that went on to Joe Rogan, something strange seems to be going on that a lot of people think is much deeper than just a coincidence. Like, Rogan's built his entire brand on being the guy who asks questions, who doesn't trust institutions, and who's skeptical of power, and who loves to entertain conspiracies, especially when they involve Jeffrey Epstein. Yet, when that exact world of power, money, and influence sits across from him in person, his skepticism seems to just disappear. And it's not like Joe gives this type of treatment to just about everyone, you know? I mean, I'm sure you all remember how he screamed at that primatologist who called into the show years ago, who infuriated Joe by simply disagreeing with him about the existence of a fake cryptid species of chimpanzee, the Bondo ape, which is just wild if you haven't seen that already.
Allison from Florida is going to challenge you. Allison, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a primatologist. There's no such thing as a Bondo ape.
You're a fucking idiot. Go online and look it up. You're a what? What do you do? It's a new discovery. You're a primatologist? Well, look it up. You're not current. Pay attention. Go online and look it up.
Yeah, this is student.
Yeah, you've learned some shit from the college. When did you graduate?
I have a PhD from
When
2000.
did you graduate? When?
From 2000.
Yeah, when was the last time you got online and researched primates? Have you ever looked at any of the new discoveries? Have you looked at any of Carl Amon's work?
Yeah, I've been to Africa.
What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I'll tell you why you're laughing, because you don't have a point. So you're trying to, oh, you're ridiculous. I have a PhD. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of photographs of this primate, this gigantic chimpanzee. Not only that, it's on National Geographic, stupid, NationalGeographic.com, CNN.com, stupid. No. There's bones, there's tissue samples, there's hair, there's fecal matter, there's all sorts of different things. Now, they've mapped the DNA of this animal already.
Oh, please.
What do you mean, oh, please, stupid? You haven't paid attention to it at all. These are legitimate scientists and primatologists that are in the Congo studying this thing. And you don't know. Yet you're calling up. You've done zero research on this. You haven't looked into it at all. You're telling me we know all the animals that are in the world? Are you telling me we know all the animals in this gigantic, several thousand-mile-long, intense rainforest?
So I just wonder where that spark was when Joe did dozens of podcasts with a bunch of Jeffrey Epstein's friends and associates.
I don't need that spark again.
No matter which camp you're in, whether you think Rogan's compromised and bought out by the CIA, or just straight up a famous guy that has a bunch of billionaires on his podcast, what the files truly expose is the limits of Rogan's so-called journalistic curiosity. And as more names, emails, and connections continue to surface, it's going to become harder and harder for Rogan to keep pretending and beating around the bush. Like, he can't just call his critics mentally ill losers like he did with Bert Kreischer anymore.
Instead of like saying, I hope that guy gets hit by a bus, fuck him. All these slobs that are on Twitter and that are talking shit about comedians and are angry about comedians, they have one thing in common. They're almost all failures. They're either failures or they're extremely mediocre. Yeah. They're in the middle of like mediocrity. No one's got them as their favorite comedian. No one's got them as their favorite podcaster. No one's got them as anything. They just don't do that well. So what do? They're attacking people. And the most anxiety-ridden, fucked up, mentally ill people I know are these lazy slobs that are online all day complaining about people.
So yeah, pretty crazy stuff, and honestly, by the time this video comes out, I bet there will be way more JRE guests named in the files that I still haven't covered yet. So subscribe if you want to see the part 2, and as always, thanks so much for watching.
Okay.
Here's a deeper point, man, and I don't mean to do this every time I'm on, but...
That was American Redacted. All good points. He's been coming up with some good stuff. You know, so it's just really odd that his subscribers aren't going up, but yeah, maybe that's how it is, but seems like with all these views you would, but maybe not. I don't know. See if we can get back to the list. The Joe list. Oh man, come on. Sorry guys. Oh man. Why won't it zoom? I'm just trying to unzoom it. There we go. Wow. Well, there's a little bit of a American Redacted compilation content. And I think in our next stream, we'll take a look at maybe some interviews, little Bill Maher, getting into something a little spicy, because, you know, watching this compilation, this comedy compilation content, it doesn't quite activate my mind as much as these interviews do. And I think coming off of those couple of 8-hour streams, this is more of a time just to kind of hang out and recoup. Okay, we talking too much, and but on our next stream we'll take a look at some interviews, because we had a great time with the first half of this. I guess the second half too, but the first half was great, and this whole interview was insane, and that was mostly from yesterday's live stream. So we covered the last half of Jamie Kennedy's interview with Andy Dick, and Jamie is cleaning up the streets of LA, of Old Hollywood, and American Redact needs Joe Rogan to kind of press his gas a bit too soft. But I think with them just being on the show, let the internet do its job, so he doesn't really have to press anymore. But here we are, and thank you. We'll wrap this one up early. This is just a recap stream. Just I wanted to make sure that we finish this last half here, and just recovering from the last two streams. But I appreciate it, and we'll take a look at what's out there. Maybe, get into some conspiracies down the road. But I appreciate it, and we'll see you again. Thank you.